Good evening, happy Valentine's Day, and welcome into the Plex in Irmo, South Carolina, as the Gamecocks get set to take on the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. My name is Zach McKinstry. We are a little bit short-handed tonight, as your usual voice for the Gamecocks, Dylan Clark, is in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, calling the ACC hockey tournament. He was invited to do that. We also couldn't find a cameraman for tonight, so we will be doing an audio broadcast. The show must go on. South Carolina getting ready and warm-ups right now. Coming off that SEC tournament, a disappointing SEC tournament after yet another first-round exit for the Gamecocks. They didn't come home empty-handed, though, after they won the consolation game against Tennessee. But the important news so far tonight, the rankings for the ACHA South region came out earlier this morning, and the South Carolina Gamecocks hung on to that 2 seed. So if they win out the rest of the way, they have all but secured their automatic bid to nationals to skip over that regional round. But to do that, they have to get through the Chanticleers tonight, Clemson on Friday, and Clemson on Saturday, the last 3 games of the season. Tonight is going to be the teddy bear toss as well. So after the first Gamecocks goal, everyone here at the Plex is going to throw a teddy bear onto the ice. It's going to be a good scene for everyone involved. All right, we'll wait for the national anthem, and we will come back for puck drop here in about 5 minutes. Capital City Sports Network, presented by SGTV.
21, J.T. Compton. At center, number 11, Justin Folks. At left wing, number 9, Brendan Ingo. At right defense, number 17, Luke Coop. At left defense, number 4, James Brown. And in net, number 35, Trent LeBron. And now for your cold South Carolina Gamecocks. Starting at right wing, number 27, Owen Thomas. And at center, number 12, Luke Reis. And at left wing, number 13, your captain, Gamecock. At right defense, number 15, Tyler Oakley. And at right defense, rocking some sweet shades, still alone tonight, it's number 4, Ryan McGowan. And in net, with the best hair, east of Mississippi, number 31, Julian Reis. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and move back to the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome back to Irmo, South Carolina, as the Gamecocks get set to take on Coastal Carolina. Pretty big crowd here for Valentine's Day. As you might have heard, Robbie Lawrence rocking some heart shades going out there for the starting line call and then the national anthem for the Gamecocks tonight. Coach Alan Serwall will be mixing things up a little bit as Nick Peters will take the reign at center, Cam Mecca at left wing, Owen Thomas at right wing, Ryan McGowan and Tyler Oakley are the D pairing. And in net tonight, Trip Russell, who played the first game against Auburn in that SEC tournament. And though they lost in double overtime, Russell made some incredible saves, some of which we haven't seen in this SEC. Very impressive night for him. On the other side, head coach Michael DeCarl for Coastal Carolina will go with James Brown and Luke Kruppa on D. And the forwards, Brendan Ingtown, Justin Folks, J.T. Compton. And in net for the Chanticleers is Trent LeBrecq. We are underway as Carolina wins the faceoff and Cam Mecca takes it down the right side. Turnover in the neutral zone, and the Chanticleers take over. Oakley with a forecheck pushes this one back, and we have our first hit of the night as number 11, Justin Folk, goes to the ice. Coastal Carolina taking over and moving it into the offensive zone, but it will be a bad entry offsides, and the puck will move back out. That SEC tournament wrapped up last Sunday. Ole Miss crowned the champion, the team that South Carolina would have played had they gotten by Auburn in that first round. Very impressive outing for Ole Miss. Their goalie, Ryan Troy, 110 saves in 3 games. An unreal stat for the Ole Miss Rebels. Back on the ice now, into the offensive zone. Coastal Carolina takes over. Tried to pass in, but intercepted by Owen Thomas. He'll take it up. It's Nick Peters now who chips it back to Thomas down the right wing. Thomas in on goal. Shot saved on the other end. And Coastal Carolina now turns it over to Colin Burke. Colin Burke in the defensive zone. Now chipped up back to Thomas. Thomas using his speed up that wing and dumping the puck in as Coastal Carolina takes over, but a huge hit up against the boards in that far corner by Nick Peters. Chanticleers have the puck behind the net, resetting and getting some line changes. Moving it up now, trying a stretch pass intercepted by Reis, and now taken over by team president Evan Hoey. Hoey gets it past the blue line, and Bolger takes over. Turnover now back in Carolina's defensive end. Up to Chad Lazine, he can't get it out, and it will go back to Colin Burke, who also can't clear it. Chanticleers take over. 1-2 pass, moving in on Trip Russell. Russell, no shot on goal, but kept in. Another shot long range. That one goes wide of the net. This one centering pass, nobody home. And Chad Lazine takes over up for Mike Bolger. Bolger moving up the right wing. Can't connect with Reis, but he'll take over in the offensive zone. Bolger, now Julian Reis taking over. And Coastal Carolina somehow gets the puck back, moving it up and turning it right back over to fifth-year Duncan Hickman. Chad Lazine dropping off for Avery Pruden, and Bolger enters the offensive zone. And now a scrap here in neutral ice has Lazine and number 8, that's Joe McAdams going at it. A battle of the eights, and McAdams had his helmet off. That stopped the play. Mouth guard on the ice, stick on the ground, and I believe Lazine was the better end of that battle. No penalty, but the puck will be dropped, and it looks like the offensive zone for South Carolina. And already some physicality early on. A common theme for the Gamecocks throughout this season. A lot of fights. Ryan McGowan back tonight for the first time since being suspended in that UNC Charlotte game. South Carolina wins the offensive zone faceoff. Dumped back in by Hickman. Taken now by Lawrence, who gets drilled up against the boards. And the puck goes out to Pruden at the blue line. He keeps. Good keep. Powderly has possession. Dumps it back to Lawrence. Lawrence in the corner. Holds on to it and sends it back behind the net for Hawkinson. Hawkinson on that far left side up to the blue line. Hickman's shot deflected out in front, but stays in. Hawkinson has it behind the net. Working it up. Slot pass out in front. Scramble and cleared away by the Chanticleers all the way down for an icing. First serious scoring chance out in front there. It looked like Ian Powderly out in the slot, but nothing to come of it. Not much offense on either side for the first 3 minutes so far, as 17-12 remain in this first period. For most of these South Carolina games, we see a lot of offense early on. Quick starts to these first periods. Nothing yet. And now Hawkinson wins the offensive zone faceoff and controls the puck. Chanticleers take over and send it up. That's the 25, Andrew Cole, as he works it up the left wing, sends it in on net, and tries to get the rest of the team in. Dumped back in by Barley. Now South Carolina takes over. It's Rob Lawrence. Can't clear the blue line, and Coastal Carolina gets it back. But now it's Lawrence with the puck back again. He's working it down the left side. Now it's Hawkinson. Hawkinson stops at the blue line, sends it in on goal. Saved by LeBrecq. And the puck's dumped down. Icing will be waved off. They'll say it was tipped. Sent back, stretch pass now. Won't connect. But South Carolina forechecks, gets the puck back. It's Alex Siegfried down the left side. He dumps it behind net to Noah Maddie. Maddie sends it to the slot, nobody home. But taken back by McGowan. McGowan sends a shot on net. This one goes high. Pass out in front again. McGowan races to keep it in. He will. Now this one is chipped out into the rafters by Luke Kruppa. And another offensive zone faceoff. South Carolina controlling possession so far tonight. They have met Coastal Carolina earlier in this season. In the first 3 games of the season, they played them twice, won 8-5 and 9-3 in Wilmington. As now South Carolina takes over in the offensive zone yet again. Cam Mecca controlling on the left board, far side. Taken now by Coastal Carolina. Sent up. Oh, finds a man streaking. It's a one-on-one with the keeper. Shot, scores. That's Justin Folks. His 11th point on the season, and he blew by the defense, caught South Carolina napping. cut through the blue line, and there was no one left. Just Trip Russell, and he buried that puck off the post and in. Beautiful shot by the second leading point scorer for this Chanticleer squad. And Coastal Carolina out to an early 1-0 lead. Face off at center ice, South Carolina dumps it in. Now on the forecheck is Nick Peters. They will not keep, and Pruden will have to take over in the neutral zone. This one dumped in, but turned over, and a nice little hit there at center ice. Nothing to come of it. Stretch pass intercepted. Coastal Carolina takes over. It's the goal scorer, folks, down the left side. Moving in, and it will be offsides. A good chance for Coastal Carolina. That will go astray due to that bad entry into the offensive zone. Now back to our pregame talks. The ACHA rankings came out. Right now, the South, the number 1 team is the University of South Florida. Number 2 are the South Carolina Gamecocks, and if they want to keep that seed, they got to win out here against Coastal Carolina, and then the 2 at Clemson next week. This one dumped in on net, and Coastal Carolina takes over. Works it behind the net and tries to wheel it up, but it will go to Avery Pruden in the neutral zone. He's in trouble. He'll turn it over, and now Coastal Carolina takes over with a chance. Shot on net. This one off the crossbar. That was Kenny Ferreira with a grade A opportunity. Sends it off the crossbar. Could have been 2-0. Now a scrum outside the blue line in the neutral zone right in front of the Carolina bench. A fight back and forth. Finally, that puck's out. It's Noah Maddie. He's got a 2-on-2. Maddie shot deflected out of play. And Siegfried slow to get up in the central zone as they will go in for a line change. The top 2 teams auto bid to nationals per each region. And that's South Carolina's position right now. If they don't manage to keep that seed, regionals will be March 7th and 8th in Wesley Chapel, Florida, as Coastal Carolina takes over and works it out of their defensive zone. Mike Bolger picks their pocket, sends it in. Nobody home. Now Chad Lazine. The near corner. Sent to Bolger. Bolger takes over. Back in behind the net. Lazine shakes off a hit and works the puck. Now taken behind the net by Ryan McGowan. He'll send it back down. That's Lazine. Right behind the net trying to find something. He can't find anything. Bolger tries to take over, can't. And now sent back in from the blue line by McGowan. No good. Oh, this one. Dangerous pass out in front by Reis. And it looked like it was almost poke-checked into his own net. But Lebrecq was focused on it and managed to ice that puck. First big chance for South Carolina out in front. That almost came out of nothing. Julian Reis, the leading goal scorer and point haver for this South Carolina squad, has 21 goals on the season. The club record is 22. So if he managed to score 2 tonight, he will hold the South Carolina club hockey all-time record for goals in a season. Coastal Carolina takes over in their defensive zone. Worked up the ice by Brendan Ingtown, the leading point scorer for the Chanticleers. Sends this one in on Trip Russell, and he'll ice it with 13:48 to go. Coastal Carolina right now on top 1-0. Coastal Carolina was not invited to the ACC tournament tonight. That's where Dylan Clark is at. The record they have on their website is 7-10. I don't know how accurate it is. It's very uncommon that teams keep up with their websites in the ACHA. As Coastal Carolina has possession, but turns it over in their defensive zone. South Carolina now working it. Bodied off the puck is Hawkinson, and he's slow to get up, and now Coastal Carolina with a chance. Little 1-2 action. What a shot out in front, but that one saved by Russell. Quick play developing from Brendan Ingtown. This one deflected out in front, and right now the South Carolina defense is in pieces. No one knows where the puck is. Recovered by Tyler Oakley and now taken out by Ian Powderly. Powderly up the boards. Nick Peters takes it. Tries to make a move in. He's the only one down there as South Carolina went for a line change. Puck now out in the neutral zone. Hoey passes it out to Colin Burke. Colin Burke tries to send this one in. No one will touch it. Icing is waved off as racing down there was Owen Thomas to beat the icing. Laid a hit down there as well, but Coastal Carolina still has possession. South Carolina doing a good job forechecking is now the captain, Cam Mecca, laying a body. Can't get the puck and cleared out by Coastal Carolina. Sent back in by Evan Hoey, and now played by Lebrecht in net. Lebrecht turns it over. Sent out in front by Peters. Nobody there. And Peters working it in that far corner. This one dumped up along the boards to Owen Thomas, who spins off a man behind the net, working his way by that left circle. Now sent back behind the net to Cam Mecca. Mecca trying to find an outlet. He works his way into the slot. Shot on net and diving out in front to ice the puck was Trent Lebrecht. So South Carolina answering some offensive opportunities by Coastal. That first one coming from the pass of Brendan Ingtow to the goal scorer Justin Folks. Back and forth there. And then Ingtow stopped on a dime and sent a backhanded pass out in front of the slot. Trip Russell very quick to get over. The game remains at 1-0. Coastal Carolina rather takes over in their defensive zone and sends it up. Parker West now feeding his man to the puck as he loops around his own net and turns it over to Coastal Carolina. Sent back around, and Joe McAdams will take over and fight up along the boards. Now taken by Coastal Carolina. They keep it in their own zone. Sent in by Andrew Cole. Ian Vanderveen has possession right now. And Duncan Hickman will take over and try to set something up. Chipped by Peak, but it won't get out. Sent back in by Andrew Cole. Hickman again. Tries to get it out, but won't. Sent back in by James Brown this time. And now Bolger with possession. Coastal Carolina doing a good job of keeping their puck in the offensive zone. Now Duncan Hickman, after some line changes, turns it over in the offensive zone again. This time it's J.T. Compton. He backhands it out in front, but off the pads of Russell and out. Sent back in this time. Out in front, shot chance, goal. How about that? Trying to pick up the numbers, I believe it was number 6. Cameron Tucker, who also has 10 points on the season, now 11. That pass from J.T. Compton behind the net, out into the slot, and too much room for Cameron Tucker as he slots that one home. And the Chanticleers out to a quick 2-0 lead, 10:48 in the first period. Hot start for Coastal Carolina, who's had a pretty slow season. South Carolina trying to come back, firing, forechecking while Coastal Carolina has the puck in their zone. It's turned over. McGowan working it, sending it on net. Quick shot saved by Lebrecht. And now trying to take out by Coastal Carolina. Reis keeps it in. Chipped back behind the net, and McGowan having some words with Kyle Yaffe behind the play. And now this one's chipped up. The speed from Justin Folks out in front of the net and knocks the net off its hinges. While the puck was right in front, it looked like he had blown a tire trying to keep that puck alive. He did outskate his man and had that one-on-one with Russell, but he had lost possession and slides into Russell and the net. That puck stays out. So another chance for Coastal Carolina and for Justin Folks, who already has one of the goals tonight. This has been an impressive offensive outing for a team that hasn't been that good all year. As I said earlier, South Carolina played them twice this year, won both games by a score of 8-5 and won by 9-3. South Carolina takes over in the offensive zone, turned over. Now here comes Ington, down the other way. Sends this one on in on net. It's high, and the rebound is out. But out of danger now as Hawkinson has possession. Sends it up, turned over. Quick shot in front. This one sent wide by Brendan Ingtow. Hawkinson takes possession in the neutral zone and sends it down right to the stick of number 6, Cameron Tucker. Back down to Burke, and he'll take over in the defensive zone. Up to Hawkinson, and Hawkinson in on net. And it will be iced by goalie Trent Lebrecht. South Carolina really can't get anything going offensively right now. This is a struggle that we first really saw in that Auburn game in the SEC tournament. We've talked about it a lot this season, how they jump out to leads and they usually don't let a team back in, and they haven't had to play from behind too often. Tonight they have, down 2-0 with 9:20 to go. South Carolina takes over in their defensive zone. Evan Hoey sends it up the wall to Owen Thomas, who will chip it back to a Chanticleer. Owen Thomas picks his pocket, works down that right side, sends it out in front, can't connect cleanly, but Nick Peters keeps it in. Sends it up to Captain Cam Mecca. He'll work it around those near boards. Owen Thomas in the corner, nice spinorama. Up to Mecca. Mecca trying the backhand wraparound, and it will be shut down by Trent Lebrecht. A little talking after the whistle as the referees skate in to separate. And everyone's out for a line change. Cam Mecca trying to get something going. We've seen the wraparound as a common goal for the Gamecocks this season. Cam Mecca, one of the most agile players on the ice, working his way behind the net, trying to get a chance there, but good positioning by Trent Lebrecht. Bolger wins the faceoff, and it's up to Pruden. Pruden keeps the puck in his skates, and a scramble on the near boards. Still fighting for it, and Coastal Carolina takes over, trying to clear it out. Right now it's Vanderveen, who will get his pocket picked by Julian Reis. Julian Reis, nice toe drag, sends it out across, but not enough mustard on it as it's deflected out. It's now Lazine who sends it in behind the net as Bolger goes in, lays a check, and gets possession of the puck. Turned back over to Vanderveen. Vanderveen intercepted by Lazine, and now back to Vanderveen, and it will not be kept in by Duncan Hickman. Now Coastal Carolina a chance on the other end, shut down by Avery Pruden. Pruden off the glass into the offensive zone with Chad Lazine. Lazine gets laid into the boards and sent back behind the net for Justin Folks. This one picked off. McGowan shot on net, deflected, didn't get there. And cleared out by the Chanticleers off the stick of Luke Kruppa. McGowan takes over. 7:30 to go here in the first period. Coastal Carolina leads 2-0. This went into the offensive zone by Michael Peak, but turned back over and back to the neutral zone for Tyler Oakley. Oakley working his way into the blue line, singing another shot on net from outside the blue line. That was dangerous as it's deflected out. And Coastal Carolina tries to clear it down. Icing waved off. Ryan McGowan fighting for it in the corner. And Noah Matty will take over. He'll chip this one up to Mike Peak. Mike Peak working his way in. Sends a shot on net. This one deflected out and into the netting. And South Carolina trying to get something going offensively. 7 minutes remaining in the first period. Michael Peak had a pretty good game against Tennessee. He has 8 points on the season, 3 goals. And last weekend against Tennessee, he had 2 of those goals. A good game, but the best game offensively of that tournament was for sure Mike Bolger, as South Carolina wins the face-off and sent in, but deflected by Coastal Carolina, and they'll have a chance to take it in behind the net. Bolger in that Auburn game had a hat trick and really kept his team alive that entire game. This one sent down, hops over the stick of Mike Peak, but icing waved off as Cameron Tucker takes it before it hits that red line. This one tries to stretch pass it across ice, but intercepted by Peak again. Now Coastal Carolina takes it, enters into the offensive zone. A chance here, shot from out in front of that circle. Kenny Ferreira shut down by Trip Russell. Hit up against the board, and South Carolina takes over. It's Hawkinson, and it's in the skates. Another scramble out in front of the South Carolina bench. Sent back in behind net, and Evan Hoey takes over. Sends it off the high glass, and Powderly clears it out. Delayed offsides. The Chanticleers touch up. Hoey has possession again, sends it to Powderly. Powderly off the boards to Hawkinson as Hawkinson enters. It will be offsides. Rob Lawrence couldn't time that up properly, and the faceoff will be outside of the Carolina offensive zone. Back to that ACHA ranking. Right behind South Carolina is the University of Tampa, who beat South Carolina in the regionals last year. A very good team in Tampa, and a loss or even a close win could push Tampa into that 2 seed and knock South Carolina out. So South Carolina's really got to get something going offensively if they want that automatic national bid to Dallas. Taken over by Pruden in the defensive zone, sends it across to Hickman. Hickman up the ice to Mecca. Mecca dumps this one in. In behind the net is Thomas. He'll lay a hit, but Coastal Carolina still with possession. And they'll send it all the way down. This one will go for an icing, as Owen Thomas laying the boom, trying to get his team going. Pretty disciplined game so far. I don't want to jinx anything, but we have seen some pretty undisciplined games so far this season. A lot of penalties in the SEC tournament for and against South Carolina. As now the face-off will go to Coastal Carolina, but Owen Thomas races in and keeps the puck in the offensive zone. Thomas working behind the net now, trying to find somebody in the slot. It's Hickman. Hickman shot on net, saved by Lebrecht. Hickman trying to keep possession, and it will be turned over to Joe McAdams as he works up the right side, sends this one in, and they go for a line change. Pruden now takes possession behind the net, sends it up, intercepted. Now a chance on net. It's fouls again. Fouls saved by Trip Russell. Dangerous play out of nowhere. Now Chad Lazine up the right side, working it in. 2v3. Dumps it off. Couldn't quite get it there as the puck is sent back out. And now dumped back in. A couple of Gamecocks will go off for a line change. And Coastal Carolina takes over. Bolger racing in, trying to intercept. Can't quite get it cleanly. And now up the right side is fouls again. Working it to the right. Tried to get the pass across. Now saved by Russell with the glove. Another quick developing play as Justin Folks, excuse me if I've been getting that name wrong all game. Justin Folks tries to send that pass across the slot and catch Russell out of position, but it was shut off by Parker West. Then the puck bounced out to J.T. Compton, who took a slap shot on the top of the right circle, and a good glove save by Trip Russell, as this Coastal offense has been relentless so far. Coastal wins the offensive draw. Quick shot on net by Compton, deflected up into the netting, and we will do it again. 4:20 remaining in the first period. Coastal leads 2-0. That top line of Brendan Ingtow, of J.T. Compton, and of Justin Folks has been phenomenal so far tonight. This time South Carolina wins it and sends it right into their bench. And we will do it for a third time in Coastal's offensive zone. No, they're going to say it was deflected out. So the draw will be outside of the offensive zone of Coastal Carolina. And Coastal Carolina wins it, sends it in, and it's Oakley now. Oakley down that right side, dumps this one in behind the net of Lebrecht. Lebrecht passes it up along the boards. Lazine cuts it off. Another scramble. That puck is still in the offensive zone of Carolina. Down to the ice goes Oakley. And still a fight for it as it's Bolger trying to win it. And turned over to Mecca. Mecca sends it out in front, deflected high. Bolger has possession. Far side, sends it across. Can't find anyone. Quick shot on net by Oakley. Deflected into the corner. Bolger takes it in that corner. Avoids a hit. And Reis keeps it from coming out. Quick shot on net. McGowan now, far side. Sends it behind the net. Nobody home. Coastal Carolina with a chance to clear. A streaking Chanticleer down the ice. What a pass. In on net and goal. J.T. Compton picking up the goal on a beautiful pass. Saucered over the entire South Carolina defense from their own defensive zone, from that circle. Just sent over everybody. Not high enough where it hits the roof. But that puck landed perfectly on the stick of J.T. Compton, and another one-on-one with the goalie. And nothing Trip Russell could do. A good finish by J.T. Compton. His South Carolina defense has been caught sleeping twice now. With 3 minutes, 18 seconds to go in this first period, Coastal Carolina up 3-0. A shocking outcome so far. Hawkinson up against the board as the puck will be bounced into the South Carolina penalty box. And there will be a neutral zone face-off. Pretty good turnout so far tonight for Valentine's Day. And South Carolina scores their first goal tonight. There will be a teddy bear toss, and everyone in attendance will toss a teddy bear they either brought from home or bought here at the Plex onto the ice. As South Carolina wins the neutral zone face-off, sent in on net by Rob Lawrence and controlled by Trent Lebrecht. Some words afterwards as Rob Lawrence gets in it with the whole Chanticleer team and prepares for the offensive zone face-off. It'll be Hawkinson taking it. He'll send it in behind, and Powderly lays a hit, but can't control the puck as it's sent in again. This time it's 89, that's Gordon Gershner. He'll send it in behind the net, and Lawrence takes over, not for long, as it's sent back to Wes, and then back to neutral ice for the Chanticleers. This one's sent in long, chipped up, and Wes kicks it out to try and take over. Two men go down, that's Rob Lawrence, and that's Kevin Brady on that far side as Hoey takes over on his defensive zone. Tries to send it across ice, dangerous pass, deflected out in front, but Hoey regains possession. Off the glass and up to Powderly. Powderly to Peters. Peters working it on the right side. Drops off to Powderly. Powderly kicks it off his stick, too far, but kept in the blue line. Good keep by Evan Hoey. Sends it in behind the net. Coastal ringing it up around the boards to their right. Off the high glass and down to Parker West as it looks like there's going to be a penalty. And it's going to be, looks like Ian Powderly sent off to the box. We'll have to see what that was. There's also going to be a Chanticleer sent to the box, so we're going to skate 4-on-4. Looks like it was roughing between the two. That's Cameron Tucker, has one of the goals so far tonight. He will be sent to the box with 1:59 remaining in this first period. So for the rest of the first period, we will skate 4-on-4. South Carolina, a very fast team, but we've seen from the Chanticleers tonight, they are just as fast, if not faster, blowing by some of these defensive pairings to get in on Trip Russell one-on-one. And they have not been missing their chances when they do. Coastal Carolina wins the neutral zone draw and sends it right into their own bench. And we'll do it again. A 1:57 to go, 1:58 on the penalty. And they will say it was not deflected. So offensive zone face-off for South Carolina. Mecca to take it, along with Vanderveen. Mecca wins it, sends it down, though, by Coastal Carolina. And Nick Peters will have to take over. He gathers, works it through the neutral zone, up ice, sends it to Thomas. Thomas enters the zone, in on net, quick chance, and Peters tries to cut it off before it gets to Lebrecht, but he will not do it successfully. Lebrecht ices the puck, and some Chanticleers did not like Peters moving in on Lebrecht that quickly. Another offensive zone face-off for the Gamecocks. 1:39 remaining now, and this time Thomas will take it. Coastal Carolina takes over, works it up the left side. Moving in is JT Compton as he sends it in behind the net. Peters takes over. Peter turns it over, but Pruden recovers and sends it out to the captain, Cam Mecca, down the left wing. Tries to work it out of their zone. He does, into the neutral zone, and somehow gets possession up into the offensive zone. This one off the referee. And now Brendan Ingtow will take over. Send it in. A minute and some change to go here in this first period. This one up to Tyler Oakley. He'll send it across ice to Cam Mecca. Cam Mecca tips it in. He'll chase it down behind the net. Recovers it and tries to find some help. He's getting bullied over there in the corner. And Coastal Carolina takes over. Lots of space. Another stretch pass into the neutral zone, and now entering is Kenny Ferreira. He'll send a shot on net, saved by Trip Russell. Oakley drops it off. Bolger now. Long pass to Reis. Reis enters the zone. 27 seconds remaining. Quick shot in front. Nothing to come of it. Oakley working down that right side. Out in front to Reis. Reis behind the net. Sends it across, but can't connect with McGowan, and the puck will exit. Bolger takes over in his defensive zone. Deeks a man, works it up. Bolger into the offensive zone now. Long shot deflected off the high glass behind the net. Reis trying to take over, sends it up. It'll be McGowan. McGowan, quick shot, and it goes in. But the timer for the first period had expired. So a goal that would have counted if it was half a second earlier, but alas, it will not. And a shocking first period, to say the least, as the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers go to the first intermission up by 3 goals by a score of 3-0. Goals coming from Cameron Tucker, JT Compton, and Justin Folks. South Carolina going to have to regroup in this first intermission, and a lot to talk about from head coach Alan Serwa. All right, we're going to take a little break, and we'll come back for puck drop for the second period here on the Capital City Sports Network, presented by SGTV. Welcome back in to the Plex in Irmo, South Carolina. We're right now at the end of one. Coastal Carolina leads 3-0. South Carolina trotting out that original line. They're going to switch things up a little bit, as it will be Lawrence, Hawkinson, and then on the D pairings, it'll be Oakley and it'll be McGowan as we skate 4-on-4 for the first 2 seconds of this second period. Oakley having a conversation with the officials as Coastal Carolina gets ready. South Carolina moving left to right, or excuse me, right to left, as Coastal will move left to right. Carolina in those garnet jerseys with the Carolina lettering striped down diagonally. Meanwhile, Coastal Carolina in the sand color uniforms with that aqua that is known so well with Coastal Carolina. Puck drop and South Carolina takes over. Dumped into the offensive zone and taken by Hawkinson. Drop down to McGowan, and he gets laid out right in front of the booth and taken down the ice now. It's Ingto. Ingto shot off the post. That could have made it 4-0 in the first 20 seconds of this period, but Trip Russell catches a break. Oakley now takes possession, dumps it in behind the net. Now taken over by Coastal Carolina and JT Compton. Up the ice, back to Justin Folks. And taken off the puck, but back over. And it'll be JT Compton again in the offensive zone. Shot from the blue line. This one misses goal entirely, and Rob Lawrence chips it in. Now it's Powderly. Powderly beats out the icing. He'll take it from behind the net. Getting pushed off the puck by Luke Kruppa. And a scramble in that corner. They'll send it around the ice. And McGowan cannot keep it in the blue line. He loses possession, gets it up, sends it off the glass all the way down to Cam Mecca. He'll enter the zone. He'll drop it off now to Nick Peters, who can't get it cleanly, and sends it around the ice up to Luke Kruppa, who'll take it for Coastal. Quick shot in from Reis, or from Hickman, excuse me. Now Peters taking it over. No one out in front of net. And kept into the blue line. Good keep by Duncan Hickman. But Coastal Carolina takes over. Sent back in and controlled by Trent Lebrecht. Coastal Carolina chips this one all the way across. A similar play that we saw connect on the goal. This pass wasn't as clean, and Coastal cannot keep it. Trying to send it across is Owen Thomas, but he cannot. He regains his own pass and has control in his defensive zone. Cam Mecca now wheels it through. Goes around a man and loses possession of the puck. Now it's Thomas who tries to dump it in. Back to the neutral zone for Pruden, who will send it to Mecca and intercept it. Duncan Hickman dumping it back in. Lebrecht cutting it off behind the net. Peters trying to beat the man there to it. He will send a body, but Coastal still has possession. Now a forecheck from South Carolina. Lazine takes over. Tries to send it to the boards to Pruden. Can't get it. Still a scramble. In the corner closest to us. Out across from Peters. Nobody home. And kept in by Hoey. No, they're going to rule it offsides. Face off in the neutral zone. South Carolina catching a break early on. Great shot from Justin Folks as it hits right at the intersection of that left post and the crossbar. A loud ding was a sigh of relief, but increasing some nerves here as South Carolina down 3-0. Still a lot of game to be played, but we haven't seen this South Carolina team play from behind too often. Taken over by Coastal Carolina. Hoey lays a hit, and down to the ice goes McAdams. Sent up. Reis now takes over, sends it into the offensive zone. Takes over in the corner. Nice move. Tries to send it out in front. Lazine puts it on net, deflected wide. Intercepted Reis, sends it in on net, deflected before it gets to the goalie. And now Coastal trying to make a move. Bolger forechecking. And sent out by Coastal Carolina, taken possession by Andrew Cole, who will dump it in. Russell will let it go to Evan Hoey. Sends it up to Mike Bolger. Bolger back around his own net, trying to reset. Sends it all the way down to Reis, who deflects it as far as Kyle Yaffe. And now Folks will take over and send it to Bolger in the Carolina defensive zone. Sent all the way up, trying to reach Reis, but can't do it. Icing waved off as Reis beats it out. Behind the net, Folks takes over. He'll send it up the ice, and now Coastal Carolina with a 3-on-2. Odd man rush, sent out in front. Good save by Russell initially, and a big hit by Evan Hoey. Russell manages to keep the puck out, and now a bit of a scrap out in front of Trip Russell. Odd man rush for Coastal Carolina, sent out in front to JT Compton, who tries to slot it home. Trip Russell gets over, makes the initial save. That puck was still out, and before, I believe it was Folks could get to it, Evan Hoey demolished him out in front of Trip Russell, and Russell iced the puck. So 5-on-5 here, 16 to go in the second period. Coastal still up by a score of 3-0. Defensive zone face-off for the Gamecocks. They win it, and Parker West takes over. He sends it up the boards to Alex Siegfried, and it'll go down to Noah Matty. He'll drop it off to Siegfried. Siegfried can't keep it cleanly, and it goes back to Coastal. They'll send it up the boards. It's Ingtao again. He sends it all the way across, can't connect with Folks. Folks sends it in behind, intercepted. South Carolina takes over, trying to work it up the ice. Noah Matty racing his man to it. Gets possession, gets hit in the corner. Siegfried takes over. Siegfried loses a handle and taken now by Ingtao again. Dumps it up. Matty intercepts in the neutral zone, sends it back down. And a late icing call. As South Carolina confused about that call, and all the Gamecocks are out in front of the bench. Really haven't seen much offensively from them tonight. Usually the Gamecocks are good getting in front of the net, goalie screens, getting shots from far, deflecting in, and getting scrambles out in front. We haven't seen any Gamecocks out in front of Trent Lebrecht tonight. Rob Lawrence comes in for Mike Peake for this defensive zone face-off for the Gamecocks. Powderly will take it up against Kenny Ferreira. Powderly takes over, dumps it out of the zone into the neutral zone, and Coastal Carolina tries to get it back in. A scramble at that blue line. Powderly sends it back, and it'll be Luke Kruppa who dumps it D to D in the defensive zone. Kruppa gets it up, and South Carolina takes over, and they're calling an elbowing penalty, as at the back of that play, a hit turned the puck over, and no one in the building is happy about that one. Coach Alan Sirois is irate on the bench. You heard the boos from the fans. And Rob Lawrence will go to the box for 2 minutes for elbowing, and a big chance for Coastal Carolina to run away with this game. A goal on this power play would make it 4-0 with 15 remaining right now. Again, the South Carolina penalty kill has been very good all year, but this defense has not had it so far tonight against the Chanticleers. Face-off between Folks, and Folks takes possession in the offensive zone. Dumps it off. It's Ingtao. Ingtao on the right side with possession, takes his time, sends it up to the blue line. Quick shot saved by Russell. Pruden trying to take over, can't do it. Sent in behind to Folks. Folks racing down into that corner, hit by Mady, dumps it now to Ingtao. Ingtao steps in, shot, and it goes high. Quick shot across to Folks. Folks pass across the slot and saved by Trip Russell as Mike Peake tries to clear it out, can't do it. Walking in, sent across, back to Ingtao on the right side, that right circle up to the blue line. Schlott pass goes wide. Chance out in front, and saved by Trip Russell. Folks was unmarked in the slot, out in front of the crease, and that puck rolled right to his stick. But he seemed as surprised as everyone else, couldn't get it cleanly. Quick shot off, and Trip Russell locks it up. Great power play so far for the Chanticleers. South Carolina has not cleared it. Cam Mecca takes the face off. And the Chanticleers still have it. Offensive zone at the blue line. Dropped off and turned over, and finally sent back down, all the way down to Trent Lebrecht. Lebrecht pressured by Mecca, and working around with it is Luke Kruppa. Kruppa loses the puck. Sent to Mecca. Mecca, chance now. Quick shot on net. Lebrecht holds on. Good forecheck from the Gamecocks trying to get some life. Cam Mecca and Nick Peters, the captain and one of the assistant captains, trying to get something going here. For the Gamecocks on this kill, it is Mecca, Peters, the 6'5", Colin Burke, and team president Evan Hoey. Mecca to take the face-off up against Ian Vanderveen. South Carolina wins it. Peters takes over and sent back in by Evan Hoey, trying to kill some more time off this penalty. Colin Burke dumped it back in again. 45 remaining on the penalty, 13:40 to go in the period. Peters with a good forecheck. That puck is still in the defensive zone for Coastal Carolina. Peters another forecheck, another hit. And now Coastal Carolina gathers and sends it up the ice. Quick loss of possession and sent back down. Peters is in the zone trying to get it. He cannot. And here comes Vanderveen, and there will be a penalty in the back of the play for interference up for Cameron Tucker, his second trip to the box tonight. And just like that, Nick Peters, aggression in the offensive zone, keeping that puck in the offensive zone, great forechecking, and in the end, Coastal Carolina finally gets it up, and he draws a penalty for interference. So we'll skate 4-on-4 for 22 seconds, and then after that, South Carolina will go on to the power play. An offensive zone face-off for the Gamecocks, and Cameron Tucker will pick up his fourth penalty minute of the night. Hawkinson up against Folks. Offensive zone. Folks wins it. Chips it up as far as Burke and turned over. Here comes Folks. He's one-on-one with Evan Hoey. Uses the speed down the right side. Cuts to the backhand. No goal. Great save by Trip Russell. Ian Powderly takes over and chipped up. Here comes Hawkinson. Hawkinson trying to work on the backhand, draws another penalty. And just like that, South Carolina will now go to an extended 5-on-3 after what could have been the fourth goal for Coastal Carolina. Colin Burke's trying to pinch to keep that puck into the offensive zone, and Justin Folks, who's been the best player on the ice so far tonight, picks it off, takes it. He's one-on-one with Evan Hoey. Evan Hoey turning around, trying to keep that puck out, and Folks moves to his backhand. Trip Russell gets over and makes the save. And now South Carolina with a little bit of life. 5-on-3 for a minute 37. Down by 3 goals. They have Reis, Bolger, Thomas, Peters, and Pruden on the ice right now. This is a huge opportunity for the Gamecocks. Down by 3 goals. Bolger takes over behind the net. Sends it up to Owen Thomas. Walks the blue line, sends it D to D. Nick Peters. Back to Thomas. Thomas, Lazine. Lazine takes his time. They're looking for that shot. Thomas back to Lazine. Over to Thomas on top of the left circle. Sends a shot in and wide. Lazine gets the rebound. On the right boards, down to Bolger. Bolger trying to find someone, can't. Out to Thomas. Thomas sends it in, deflected, doesn't get on net. Bolger keeps possession, a minute to go on the 5-on-3. Thomas now out to Peters. Peters walks in. Sends this one, weird angle shot, doesn't go. And Thomas takes over. Walks the top of the blue line, sends it down to Bolger. Bolger across ice, deflected. Doesn't get the complete pass to the slot. Reis up to Peters. Peters sends it over to Thomas. Thomas, shot out in front, blocked again. Great defense on this penalty kill, blocking shots left and right. Lazine up to Reis. Reis on the blue line, sends it to Peters. Peters shot, won't go. Rebound, goal. Owen Thomas gets the Gamecocks on the board from the Peters shot, and here come the Teddy Bears, folks. Teddy Bears flying left and right, and a lot of them. It is Valentine's Day, and it took 20 minutes and then the first 9 of the second period, but finally they are on the ice for the first South Carolina goal, and a big goal at that. Nick Peters on the shot, bounced out in front, and a good finish to put the Gamecocks within 2. South Carolina still on the power play for the next 51 seconds, and all of a sudden it's a 3-1 game, and the crowd is alive. Captain Cam Mecca and the rest of this Gamecock squad helping out, cleaning up all these teddy bears. A lot of teddy bears out there. I'd say at least 100, 150 brought from home. You could buy them for $1 here at the Plex. And so the folks that came out tonight for Valentine's Day certainly enjoyed that. As Sandstorm plays and Coach Michael DeCarl talks to his Chanticleers on the bench. South Carolina's ready to roll, and they have gotten back into this game with 11:43 to go in the second. On the ice right now, it's Hawkinson, Lawrence, Oakley, McGowan, and Cam Mecca. They're talking over their strategy as DeCarl is still talking to his team on the bench. Referees break it up. But not successfully, as Coastal Carolina's on their own time. Beach time, that is. Coastal Carolina in Myrtle Beach, Conway, South Carolina. But their home rink is in Wilmington, North Carolina. Pretty far away. They actually had a game last week that was postponed because the ice was not ready at their complex, the Wilmington Ice House. All right, face off at center ice. Coastal takes over and send it down to Tyler Oakley. He'll send it across to McGowan. Back to Oakley as they try to work in. It's Hawkinson. He dumps it in now. Gets it back. And working on that right board. Sends it back up to Hawkinson, who's slowly weaving his way back and forth on that right side, trying to get some help. Cam Mecca takes his position, sends it to Oakley at the top. Shot out in front. Rebound won't go. Cam Mecca fakes the pass, has possession, tries to send it down, and that puck is deflected out in front. McGowan trying to regain that rebound, but can't do it. Oakley out in front, sends it down. McGowan can't find the puck, and this one will exit the offensive zone. Oakley takes over, sends it down to Mecca. Mecca down that left side. Here he comes. There's that speed that we've seen from him so often. Poked off by Ryan Barley. Good defensive play. Kept in. Hawkinson trying to get the rebound, won't. And up come Coastal Carolina. Short-handed, fans on it, and enters the zone. It's Brendan Ingtow. And Trip Russell holds on to that after a move by Brendan Ingtow. And we will have a defensive zone face-off. That ends the penalty. We'll skate 5-on-5. 10 minutes, 30 to go in this second period. Gamecocks trail by 2. Score of 3-1. Reis and Gordon Gerstner will take the face-off. Gerstner wins it. And he'll work down into the corner. Shoved into the corner by Hickman. And the Gamecocks try to take over. Fanned on by the defenseman Kyle Yaffe for Coastal Carolina. And they'll have to reset in their own zone. Sent up the ice into the neutral zone, can't get it cleanly, and gives time for South Carolina to recover. Trip Russell makes the glove save, then dumps it out to Duncan Hickman. Hickman to Bolger. Bolger dumps it off the boards to Julian Reis, 2-on-1. Reis across, shot by Lazine, saved, and that puck went through the legs, but saved at the line by Trent Lebrecht. 2-on-1 opportunity. South Carolina looked like a golden opportunity. Great pass to Lazine, but great save by Trent Lebrecht to keep that one out. All of a sudden, South Carolina have some momentum offensively. 9:54 remaining in this second. Reis, Bolger, Lazine, Burke. Burke and Hoey actually will sub out for Oakley and McGowan for an offensive zone face-off. Reis will go up against Justin Folks. Has a goal tonight. 11 points on the season. Taken by McGowan, he dumps it off. Lazine almost loses possession, regains it on that right side. Shot out in front. Nobody there for the rebound. Bolger takes it now. Right side in behind the goal. Working it to the slot, can't connect, and that puck exits the zone. Oakley chasing it down, wheeling around his own net for reset. Spins off the check from Justin Folks and keeps possession. It's Bolger now. Bolger working it up the ice. Dumps this one all the way in. Oh, boy. An Odell-like catch from Trent Lebrecht as this puck was saucered all the way on goal. And right in front of the net, Trent Lebrecht reaches out his glove and catches it behind his head. An offensive zone face-off for South Carolina. As they'll switch their lines, Noah Matty will take the face-off. Mike Peak on the left wing, Siegfried on the right. Oakley and McGowan behind him. Coastal takes over, sends it up the ice. It's JT Compton racing down, but it will be an icing as McGowan beats him out. Good hustle. Sent back in, we'll do it again in the left circle of this Carolina offensive zone. Trent Lebrecht readjusting his blocker and his glove. Getting set up, and Matty and Folks will go back at it again. This one dumped in behind the net. Peak chases. Siegfried goes in for the hit, instead just gets a stick. And there is a Coastal Carolina player without a stick as South Carolina will take over. This one turned back over, and Folks will send it up. Up to Compton. Compton dumping it in, and it'll send the Gamecocks back to regroup. Matty behind the net. Drop pass to Oakley. Oakley up to Siegfried. Siegfried pushed off the puck, and the Chanticleers take over. Now it's Oakley. He dumps it up and intercepts it. Matty, right side, quick shot. Deflected out in front, and here come the Chanticleers. Who else? Brendan Ingtow down the left side. Shot out in front, and this one's high. And into the netting. As Ingtow slaps the boards, he knew he had a golden chance there. There's been a couple of chances tonight where he and Justin Folks have just shown off their speed and beaten the South Carolina defense. He had a chance there and sent that one high. And it will be a neutral zone face-off? No, they will push it back to the defensive zone. I was about to say, that would have been strange. Meanwhile, Matt Corning chases down the stick that was left all the way behind the net of Trent Lebrecht. And 8:30 remaining in this second period, score 3-1. Offensive zone face-off for Coastal Carolina. Won by South Carolina. Owen Thomas goes down, no penalty. Dumped in, and they'll say offside as Burke tried to get it in, but could not. Owen Thomas trying to take it through the neutral zone for a clean entry, but went down to the ice. It didn't look like a tripping, but a couple of fans wanted it. And now right outside the Gamecocks offensive zone will be the face-off. They win it. Hoey takes over, dumps this one all the way back in. Peters chases it down. Lebrecht plays it around the side. Quick shot out in front, intercepted. Here comes Luke Kruppa all the way up into the offensive zone. Fans on the shot, and South Carolina takes over. Dumped back to Coastal. Sends this one up the boards. Big hit up against the boards. Cam Mecca now. Good move by Cam Mecca. 2-on-1 South Carolina. Can't get the toe drag around his man, and that chance goes astray. Cam Mecca taking over, sends it back to the top of the blue line. Evan Hoey, quick shot out in front, deflected by Peters, but it goes wide. A whistle now as the net is off its bearings. And Owen Thomas not happy because South Carolina had a good chance coming there. 7:36 remaining in the second period. 3-1 Coastal on top right now. South Carolina has certainly picked up their offensive play since that first period. A sense of urgency starting to develop as Corey Hawkinson goes up against Kenny Ferreira for this face-off draw. Hawkinson wins it, but the pass is too far for Pruden, and it will exit the zone. Sent back down to Cameron Tucker, who has made it out of the box. And he is getting pushed around in the defensive zone, still maintains possession, sends it up now. Here comes Coastal as they dump this puck in. All the way down, Pruden will slide it up the boards, and Coastal will keep it in. Trying to make a play was Rob Lawrence as he goes down to the ice. And there is a penalty for tripping in the back. Everyone wanted that penalty. Coach Alan Sirwa was screaming at one of the officials to put his hand up in the air, but he was looking at the wrong official as the official in the defensive zone had called it. So South Carolina back to the power play. Another big chance as That's Kyle Yaffe who will go off to the box. 7:05 remaining in the second period. 2 of those minutes will be aligned for this Gamecock power play. Reis against Ferreira. Offensive zone. Reis wins it up to the blue line, McGowan. McGowan drops it for Bolger. Bolger tries to drop it back off, but a bad pass. And now the Gamecocks have to regroup in the neutral zone. Dumped in, but a delayed offside. And in behind their own net, Gamecocks regroup with Mike Bolger. Bolger all the way up through the neutral zone, coast to coast. Stops on that left circle, sends it across to Reis. Reis sends it in, but a great save by Trent Lebrecht, moving right to left, diving out and making a glove save. Impressive play by Trent Lebrecht to keep this at a 2-goal game. Reis had the chance there. Good pass, but wasn't in a one-timer. And instead, good save by the Coastal goalie. Offensive zone draw taken by South Carolina again. McGowan at the blue line for Bolger now. Bolger, quick shot on net. Lazine, scramble out in front. No one can find the puck, and it is blown dead as Lebrecht is lying on the ice, hoping that puck is underneath him. And Lazine in the center of it all. The puck is in the net, but the whistle was blown, and there will be an offensive zone face-off instead. 1:19 remaining on this power play. A couple of good chances for South Carolina so far. They win it again. Bolger, McGowan, Oakley, one-timer, saved by Lebrecht. Lazine behind the net, sends it up to Bolger. Bolger tries to send this one in. It's deflected high. Oakley behind the net. Bolger checking, forechecking, trying to make sure those Chanticleers don't clear the puck. Big scramble, burning off time, 55 seconds remaining. Lazine in the slot, dropped to McGowan. McGowan long shot, deflected, saved by the pad of Lebrecht, and cleared all the way down. 45 seconds remaining, 5:50 remain in the period. McGowan stretch pass for Powderly. Powderly across behind the stick of Reis. They'll have to regroup. Powderly sent into the zone. Intercepted by Reis, and good job staying onside. Reis, nice move, but can't get a shot off. Drops this behind for Powderly. Powderly looking for someone, drops it to the blue line. McGowan back to Powderly. Powderly steps in, walks across. Thomas sends it wide. And again, Lebrecht knocks his net off. 16 seconds remain on the power play. Another good chance for Owen Thomas. 5:20 remain in the period. South Carolina trail by 2. Now, if you're Coach Alan Serwall, I'm sure you want to get at least one more before the end of the period, because 1-goal deficit is a lot easier to climb in that third period. Hawkinson wins the draw to Mecca. Mecca drops it off to Thomas. Thomas keeps it in. Mecca to Powderly. Powderly takes his time, trying to find somebody. Mecca now working behind the goal. Sends it up. Blue line to Peters. Peters walks in, back to Mecca. Out of the box comes one of the Chanticleers. As South Carolina keeps possession of the puck, it's Hawkinson. He sends it off the boards, back to the blue line to Owen Thomas. Thomas steps, sends it in. Good save by Lebrecht. Powderly with possession now. Sends it back up. Owen Thomas at the blue line. Steps in. Another long shot. Rebound. Mecca. Good save by Lebrecht again. Laying out. Shutting down Cam Mecca, the captain, who stares up at the stars. Lebrecht, big save as that puck had bounced out into the crease right onto the backhand of Mecca's stick. But he stands on his head there, making a big save. 4:40 remaining in this second period. South Carolina have had extended time in this offensive zone. Maddie on the faceoff. Coastal Carolina takes over. Big hit up against the boards by Michael Peak, and here come the Chanticleers. Slap shot by Ingtow sends this one up into the netting. And it will be the Chanticleers' turn for an offensive zone faceoff. South Carolina with a record of 19-2-1 on the season. One of the better seasons in club history. But that chance to nationals will be all but averted if they lose this one to Coastal. South Carolina takes possession, can't clear it from the blue line, sent back in by Coastal, but Duncan Hickman takes over off the high glass. Taken back by Coastal, long shot. This one's wide. Peak recovers. Peak sent into the boards hard, and that's going to be a penalty and some shoving afterwards. A boarding penalty and another chance for South Carolina here on the power play. 4:10 remain in the period, and some yelling back and forth. As off to the box, we'll see who it is. It looks like it's going to be number 11, Justin Folks, on that boarding penalty. And he has been the most dominant player on the ice so far tonight. So a chance with him off the ice for the Gamecocks on the power play. We'll see what happens. For the Gamecocks right now, it's Lazine, it's Mecca. It's Mike Bolger, Nick Peters, and Owen Thomas. A lot of offensive firepower. Bolger, we talked about it a little earlier in the Auburn game in that SEC tournament. He put on a show, picking up a hat trick. He has 23 points on the season, as currently the coach of Coastal Carolina, Michael DeCarl, is talking to the officials, trying to get an explanation. He won't manage to change their mind, as South Carolina will remain on the power play. South Carolina wins the faceoff. Thomas tries to chip it in. Kept in by Reis. And that puck is cleared all the way down now by Coastal Carolina. Trip Russell leaves it for Peters. Peters works his way up. Sends it across now to Owen Thomas. And there's going to be a penalty right now, as there was a hit at in neutral ice. It looks like it's going to be Chad Lazine sent to the box after that hit on Brendan Ingtow. So we will skate 4-on-4 for a minute and 36. 3:46 remain in the period. And after a fairly disciplined first period, a lot of penalties here in this second. Coastal resetting. Offensive zone face-off for them. It'll be Ingtow taking it, but it'll be won by Reis. Sent up by South Carolina. Bolger sends it in. It's on sides. Lebrecht in trouble behind the net, but clears it. Reis now walks in, hit by two Chanticleers, and there is going to be another penalty. It's going to be a cross-check on the man that was just drew the penalty. That'll be Ingtow. Or maybe not. No, they're going to give it to JT Compton, another goal scorer for the Chanticleers, will send off to the box. And all of a sudden, it's 4-on-3. So penalties back and forth. 3:30 remain in the second period. For the next minute 17, it'll be 4-on-3 in South Carolina's favor. Well, as of right now, the Chanticleers have 5 players on the ice, which is not right, as 2 of them skate off to the bench now. It'll be Hawkinson, and it'll be Kenny Ferreira in the face-off in the Gamecocks offensive zone. Hawkinson wins it out to Oakley. McGowan now walks that blue line. Back to Oakley. Oakley out by the right circle, sends it down to Mecca. Back to Oakley. Oakley shot out in front, saved right into the gut of Trent Lebrecht. And another good chance for South Carolina. Good shot out in front. We're starting to see more presence out in front of Lebrecht, which means a bigger chance for deflections. This one tried to be cleared by Coastal. McGowan takes over, sends it across to Hawkinson. Hawkinson, quick shot, another save. That puck was loose, and that was an early whistle And Cam Mecca is hot. Not happy with that call as the puck had drifted out into the crease. And a lot of fans not happy as well. Lebrecht made that initial save, a good initial save, but had not fallen on that one. Instead, it'll be an offensive zone draw. It'll be Hawkinson and Ferreira again. Still 4-on-3 for the remaining, or for 57 seconds. Hawkinson gets his stick lifted, and here comes Coastal. Short-handed, sends it all the way down to Trip Russell, and Russell drops it off now for McGowan. McGowan taking it up, loses a handle, but it goes to Hawkinson. Hawkinson enters the offensive zone. Here comes South Carolina, works it backhand again into the gut of Trent Lebrecht. All of these shots managing to hit him right on that Chanticleer logo. Trent Lebrecht has been pretty good tonight. Not as many shots on goal as we usually see from this Gamecock team, but when they have shot on goal, they've been shut down by Trent Lebrecht. A couple of shots that should have gone in. Grade A saves from him. South Carolina wins the offensive zone. Face off again. Reis down to Bolger. Out across to Peters. Peters quick shot. This one saved again. That was a tic-tac-toe pass all the way to that right circle. Nick Peters got a quick shot off, but Lebrecht got over. Again, good goaltending. Powderly to take this offensive zone draw. South Carolina wins it. Peters drops it now. It's Reis. Reis with a lot of room. Works his way in. Quick shot, and that's a goal. Trent Lebrecht, we had talked about his positioning. This time he is so deep in the crease, I don't think he realized how deep he was. That shot came in, and he fell backwards. The puck went in with him. All of a sudden, Gamecocks back in it. Julian Reis picks up his 22nd goal, and that ties the club record for South Carolina in a season. He is one away from inking his name in by himself. 23 seconds would remain on that 4-on-3. Instead, will be 4-on-4 for 47 seconds. Then the Chanticleers will take over for about 20 seconds on their power play. 3-2 game, 2:30 remaining in this second period. All of a sudden, we've got a good one. South Carolina crawling back in, slowly but surely. Cam Mecca still on the ice. Wins this draw, and Pruden takes over. Sends it up the ice all the way down, and it'll be an icing as it was not deflected. And they'll send it back down. 40 seconds on the 4-on-4, 2:26. 3-2 game. For the Chanticleers, goals from Tucker, from Folks, from Compton. And on the other end, the Gamecocks have a goal from Julian Reis. And I'll have to look to see who the other was from. Peters loses the draw, quick shot, but saved by Russell. Kept in. Kruppa. Now in is Ingtow, quick shot, that one high. Again, quick shot on goal, deflected, but it goes wide. All of a sudden, the Chanticleers with a little action. Ingtow, still with possession, sends it across. Back to Ingtow. Ingtow tried to get the one-timer, couldn't get the pass cleanly. This one shot deflected, saved by Russell, and then the shot following went wide. Chanticleers with some action now. Cam Mecca chases this one down and recovers. Here come the Gamecocks. Mecca works his way down the right side. Spins around a hit, and that'll be a delayed offsides. And a face-off outside the offensive zone. Cam Mecca slams his stick on the ice, not happy. Tried to work the puck in there. And 15 seconds on the power play for the Chanticleers. It'll be 5-on-4. I don't think they realize, as they only have 4 on the ice. Unless our scoreboard is wrong. Now here comes Lazine. Lazine sends it across. Bolger to Reis. Reis working it in and into the glove after deflected off a defender of Lebrecht. Now both penalties are done. 1:27 remaining in this second period. and we'll finally get back to 5-on-5. Julian Reis, Chad Lazine, Mike Bolger, the forwards for this shift. Oakley dumped into Lazine. Lazine working it behind the goal. Tries to spin, but blows a tire. And Ingtao tries to send it out, and it's into the net from behind his goal. That means the faceoff will be in the offensive zone. 1:17 now. A slow ticking clock here in the end of this second period. Whether it be penalties, goals, or whatnot, it's been a very slow into this period. Now South Carolina wins the draw. Shot deflected and turned over. Then taken away. Oakley sends it into the zone. Lays a hit and tries to forecheck to win that puck. Lazine coming in to help. Behind the net now. Coastal Carolina takes over, but it'll get as far as Bolger, who gives it right back. Julian Reis tries to take over. Can't quite do it. Now taken away. Here comes Gerstner down the left side. Sends this one behind the goal. Reis takes over. Can't get it out. Here comes Coastal. Quick shot out in front. And Trip Russell makes the save, and then after the whistle, Ryan McGowan lays a big hit. He's going to take a penalty for that. That's not the type of penalty you want in this game. You're down a goal. There's 40 seconds remaining in this second period, and after the whistle blows, you lay the boom on a player. That might hurt your team. He's being escorted by an official to the box. McGowan pleading his case, but it doesn't often work like that. As Coastal will be on the power play for the remainder of this period and for the start of the next. South Carolina going for a line change to this penalty kill unit. Still 40 seconds remain in this period. Cam Mecca, Noah Matty, Avery Pruden, and Duncan Hickman. They'll be on the kill. Meanwhile, back on the ice is Brendan Ingtao. He's been the player to watch. Quick shot off the draw. This one out in front of Trip Russell. He couldn't find the puck, was looking for it in front, behind, and finally the whistle was blown before the puck crossed the line. The goal was also knocked off its bearings as the officials try to explain. And there will be another offensive zone faceoff for the Chanticleers. Ingtao talking with Luke Kruppa, trying to come up with a play. Taking the faceoff for the Chanticleers is Ferreira. He wins it. Out to Ingtao. Quick shot. Headhunter goes high. Chanticleers still have it. Working it in. Ferreira drops it off. Sends it back, and he has it now. Intercepted. Mecca working his way down the right side. Trying to fight for that puck shorthanded, can't do it. 18 seconds and counting. Here come the Chanticleers. It's a 4-on-2. Working down the left side, drop-off pass. Quick shot saved by Russell. Working around. It's Ingtao. He sends it across. Finds his man, but can't complete the shot. It goes off his stick strange. And that's the end of the period. As the Gamecocks climb back in, it is a 3-2 game. Coastal still leads by a goal. They will open the third period on the power play for the first minute 21. South Carolina starting to get something going offensively. Coastal Carolina on their heels. We got a good one, folks. Stay tuned. After this intermission, puck drop for third period. We'll be back on the Capital City Sports Network, presented by SGTV. Welcome back into the Plex in Irmo, South Carolina, as Coastal Carolina leads the South Carolina Gamecocks 3-2 to start this third period. Coastal Carolina will start this period on the power play for the first minute 21. Trip Russell in net, warming up while the penalty kill for South Carolina comes out, and that power play 1 unit comes out for the Chanticleers. Getting ready for face-off at center ice. It'll be Kenny Ferreira, the assistant captain for the Chanticleers, and it'll be Julian Reis, who is currently tied for first in University of South Carolina goals in a season. Referees delay puck drop for a second, making sure the right personnel are on the ice. Now the linesman talking it over. And now we're good to go. All right, Reis, Ferreira. Reis wins it, sends it down, and the third period is underway. Forecheck, Bolger tries to win that puck. And here comes number 9, Brendan Ingtow. He loses possession, and Reis clears it to the blue line. Ingtow plays the puck. South Carolina said he was offsides. It won't matter. They clear it anyway. 50 seconds remaining on the power play as Bolger comes in on the forecheck. Ingtow chips it back, and it'll be Luke Kruppa taking possession behind his net and working it up the ice. Down the left side, working it in, and tries to play it along the high glass and will chip it into the net. That's JT Compton. And so a face-off outside of the zone, offensive zone. 35 seconds remaining on this power play. Peters Ferreira on the face-off. Peters wins it. Hoey takes his time and sends this puck all the way down on net. And holding the puck is Trent Lebrecht. So now it'll be an offensive zone face-off shorthanded for the Gamecocks. Lebrecht looked like he wanted to play that puck, but he kept it in his glove too long. So 26 seconds remain on the power play. Offensive zone face-off for the Gamecocks. 1, Mecca chips it back in. And 20 seconds remaining now as the Chanticleers move it up the ice. In comes Ingtow, works it down the right side, steps in, shot deflected off the stick of Evan Hoey and goes into the net. So 12 seconds remaining. Bit by bit, these seconds are ticking off. And it'll be a defensive zone face-off for the Gamecocks. Off goes Colin Burke, and on skates Owen Thomas. Face-off won by Coastal Carolina. They get it across, slap shot high over the goal. Tries to cross this one in. It's JT Compton at the blue line. Sends it in, and glove save by Trip Russell. Couldn't get it cleanly in the glove, but manages to fall on top of it. And he'll ice it to kill off the initial power play for Coastal Carolina. Back to 5-on-5, 8:40 to go in this third period. Coastal leads 3-2. They'll get a full line change. Taking the face-off for Coastal will be Ian Vanderveen. And a scramble for it, but Peters comes out with the puck. Sends it along the glass all the way up, and Thomas takes it in his own zone to Mecca. Mecca chipped up and almost into the face of Colin Burke on the bench over there. It'll be a face-off that will remain in the offensive zone for Coastal Carolina. Vanderveen to take the face-off against Peters again. Taken by Coastal Carolina. Quick shot stuffed in and deflected behind the goal. It'll be Oakley now as he chips it up to Thomas. Thomas tries to get it to Peters but can't do it. Now Thomas takes it. He's got a chance. Working his way all the way down. Quick shot and just enough of it. Trent Lebrecht gets his blocker on it and sends it over to the net and into the net. above the glass for an offensive zone faceoff. Good work working that puck down the right wing by Owen Thomas and getting a quick shot off that almost beat Trent Lebrecht. But he got just enough of that blocker on it. Peters. Faceoff still in the offensive zone. Mecca takes it behind the net, works it down, sends it back behind the net. Peters tries to get there, but gets cut off. Coastal takes over, big hit. Thomas takes it, tries to get it to Peters, and Coastal clears it out of the zone. Ryan McGowan gets it up, but intercepted by Vanderveen. Vanderveen shoved into the boards by Mecca, and McGowan sends it behind the net for Oakley. Oakley up along the boards. Mecca takes it and dumps it out of his zone just to be sent right back in. Behind the net, Oakley takes it. Backhand pass to Mecca. Mecca takes it in his own zone. Nice little move there, works around a couple of Chanticleers and up the ice now. Speeds through the neutral zone. Toe drags, and it'll be a delayed offsides as that deke move was right when the Gamecocks entered the zone. It'll be a face-off between Noah Matty and Kenny Ferreira. 17:22 remaining. Coastal still on top by 1. Work down by Matty. Matty slaps it in. And icing it is Trent Lebrecht. And another offensive zone face-off. Quick spurts of play. Goalies icing the puck when they have the chance. Matty again in the offensive zone on the face-off. He'll send this one behind the net. It's Siegfried taking it. Siegfried gets bodied behind the net. Fans wanted a call. Didn't get one. Matty working his way down to Siegfried now. Siegfried sends a man down and gets possession of the puck. Scramble in that far corner. Siegfried down to ice now. Coach Searwall livid. No call. This one sent up high. Stayed in play. Matty, quick shot. This one saved by Lebrecht. Got through a bunch of bodies out in front. And Lebrecht diving well out of his crease to fall on top of that one. Yeah, Siegfried went down to the ice there behind the net. And the Gamecocks really wanted a trip. They will not get it. 16:45 to go in the period. Still 5-on-5. Hawkinson to take the face-off with Powderly and with Rob Lawrence. Sent down, and it'll be an icing. And back up the ice. So another quick spurt of play, 16:38 now. And we will have a face-off on the right circle in the Gamecocks offensive zone. Hoey and Parker West skate off for McGowan and Oakley. Hawkinson and Ferreira on the face-off. Hawkinson battles for it, gets his stick lifted. Coastal takes over and sends it to the neutral zone to Tyler Oakley. Oakley back in. Off the stick of Powderly, and losing possession is James Brown. Brown clears it out of the zone. And good move here. Coastal Carolina 2-on-0. Chance on net. Crossbar again. And Rob Lawrence goes flying in to take the net off its bearings right into Trip Russell. You got to hope Trip Russell's okay. But Lawrence, all-out effort to try and stop that 2-on-0. The puck, I believe it was Lawrence on defense. It might have been Oakley. Tried to poke check JT Compton, and that puck bounced over everyone's head and right to the stick of Compton for a 2-on-0 in front of Russell. Russell made the save, and then the net fell off its bearing. So another break for South Carolina, as that's probably the third crossbar Coastal Carolina's had tonight. This could be a completely different game if not for those pipes behind Trip Russell. Hawkinson wins the faceoff. Oakley now chips it out of the zone. Rob Lawrence beats his man. It's a 2-on-1 opportunity. Lawrence loses possession, couldn't get it cleanly, and chips it right into the glove. Easy save, Trent Lebrecht. Big chance there as the puck rolled around that Chanticleer defender for Rob Lawrence to work down the left side. Tried to chip that puck in on the backhand, but it rolled on him a bit. And Lebrecht, another save. Reis and Vanderveen for this face-off. Looks like Coastal's wins it, but kept in. Hickman keeps it at the blue line. Now the puck scrambles out, and the Chanticleers have possession, chip it back in. Pruden and Hickman. Oh, the ref goes down to the ice to the applause of the fans. He's got a smile on his face, as currently Coastal has it in their offensive zone. Taken by Julian Reis. He works it up the right side. Reis trying to find this pass. Can't get it to Bolger, who is cutting into the slot, and it is sent down to Hickman and Pruden. Hickman and Pruden are very close together. They couldn't get a pass off completely, and it is a delayed offside as that puck luckily scrambled out for the Carolina defense. This one chipped back in. Reis trying to get in on net. Lebrecht gets it and ices it, and then Reis tripped up by Kyle Yaffe at the end of that play, and he goes in hard on Lebrecht unintentionally. Looked like Yaffe got his stick in the skates of Reis. So 15-19 remain in this third period. South Carolina still trail by a goal. A lot of offensive zone opportunities and quick answers for Coastal Carolina, who's had a crossbar in, I think, every period so far tonight. Won by Coastal Carolina in their defensive zone. Up the ice. Chipped up by Cameron Tucker. And fanned on by Parker West. Chance for Gersner. Gersner can't get it. This one sent in on goal, and Tripp Russell clears it away. Cam Mecca now with possession in his own end. Sends it up to Nick Peters, who couldn't find it. And back now for Coastal Carolina. Shoved off the puck by Hoey is Kenny Ferreira, but Coastal still has possession as Cam Mecca now checking into the boards. Ferreira hit again by Hoey. Hoey lifts a stick and takes possession. Good defensive play there by Evan Hoey. This one shot in wide of the net. Mecca recovers, takes possession, drops it off, and it goes over the stick of West. Quick shot out in front. Pass out in front, rather. Nothing to come of it. It's Mecca now. Mecca with possession, working it through the neutral zone. Cuts it across. Onside, works it in. Quick shot, weird angle. That puck is loose. The goal is off its bearings. And again, Lebrecht manages to keep it out. Mecca working from the right side near us, works it all the way to the other side before he gets into the offensive zone. And then working down that left wing, gets a shot off from that face-off circle. And Lebrecht manages to fall on it to ice it. 14-17 now in this third period. Reis wins it. Drops it from McGowan. McGowan chips it up, keeps it in. Oakley fakes the shot, gets a man down to the ice. Oakley takes a hit, but it's Lazine behind the net. He's got room. Sends it to Bolger. Bolger, weird angle shot up into the shoulder of the goalie. That puck is behind the net right now, and they've iced it. Another early whistle from an official, and South Carolina's not happy with the officiating in this game. And then a couple of shoves afterwards as Trent Lebrecht is currently working on something. I think he has an equipment malfunction. Looks like his pads, he has to retie them. That shot from the left side went right into the shoulder of Lebrecht and bounced right out immediately. That puck was being scrambled for almost behind the net, and the officials blew it dead. So needless to say, the Gamecocks are unhappy. And now Lebrecht, with his blocker off, puts it back on and gets his stick. He's all set now. Offensive zone face-off for the Gamecocks after a strange whistle and a scramble in front of the net. It's Reis. It's Ingtao. Ingtao wins it, but Bolger chases it down. Sends a pass out in front. This one intercepted. It's Reis, quick shot. This one's wide. Coastal Carolina sends it all the way around the boards. Hickman pinches, keeps the puck in for now until it is cleared out to Reis. Reis sends it all the way back into the glove of Lebrecht, who again catches it over his head in his crease and then ices it. 13:43. There's really no time for anything. South Carolina getting shots on net on Lebrecht, and Lebrecht icing it immediately. Quick shifts right now. Hawkinson to take the face-off with Ingtao. Ingtow wins it, and Coastal chips it out. Working down is JT Compton. Quick shot, but saved by Trip Russell. JT Compton working his way around Duncan Hickman. Puck still in the offensive zone for Coastal Carolina. Powderly trying to chase it down and get it out. Sends it up the boards off of Rob Lawrence. Rob Lawrence out to the neutral zone, and the Chanticleers have to reset. Dump it back in. Powderly. Possession. Drops it off for Pruden. Pruden looking up the ice. Finds Duncan Hickman, but sends it all the way down. This one off the post on the clear. So icing waved off. Up the ice now, Luke Kruppa. He tries to send it in. Good keep by Avery Pruden. All of a sudden, South Carolina with a chance. Work it out in front. Intercepted. Coastal Carolina takes over. It's Kruppa again. Trying to find that outlet pass, and it's intercepted. Hawkinson takes over. Spins this one around. And back in by Coastal Carolina. Trip Russell playing it behind his net for Hickman. Hickman up along the boards for Hawkinson. And Powderly will take it. Powderly up the right wing. Tries to make a move on his man. Doesn't have much help. And up comes the ice. Andrew Cole on it. Dumps this one in behind the net. Hoey skates behind. Clears this one. A moonshot. Absolutely straight up into the air and into the roof. So 12-18 remain in the third period. Coastal Carolina will have an offensive zone face-off. Hoey, a good offensive play, or good defensive play on that possession, and then trying to clear that puck. I believe it was deflected off another stick up high. So Hoey now sends it after the Gamecocks won the face-off. And Powderly takes it to Hawkinson, who enters the zone. Hawkinson tries to work around his man, can't do it. And the forecheck will fail as Coastal Carolina works it up now. Left side shot off the stick of Ferreira won't go. Burke chips this one up to Powderly. Powderly trying to make a run. He's got Rob Lawrence on his left. Powderly looking for a help. Sends it behind the goal to Lawrence, rather. As the Gamecocks are in the middle of a line change. Coastal Carolina takes over. Owen Thomas tries to make a play, and there is a penalty. And it looks like it's going to go against the Gamecocks. And it's going to go against Rob Lawrence, who is, again, having an argument with an official. He will take a seat in the box. I didn't see what happened behind the play. But regardless, it's going to be 2 minutes for Lawrence. And again, the Chanticleers with a chance to capitalize on momentum. A goal here, 11:35 remaining in the third period. A power play goal from the Chanticleers would just be a killer for this South Carolina team that's fought back to 1 goal. South Carolina wins the defensive zone draw. Nick Peters takes it behind his net and clears it. Can't get it all the way out. Ingtow shot from the circle. Deflected out in front before it got to Trip Russell. Oakley now taking possession. Tries to chip it out. Ingtow cuts it off again. Walks the line, takes another shot. This one off the pads of Russell, and Mecca clears it. Owen Thomas pressuring. Send in behind, but Owen Thomas is the only one there. He'll take possession in the offensive zone. Works around a couple of Chanticleers. This one out to Cam Mecca. He'll work it all the way down to Oakley to try and kill off some time. He'll take it himself in the defensive zone and tries to clear it out. It's deflected off a Chanticleer. Offensive chance for Coastal Carolina now. It's Compton. Compton across to Ingtow. Ingtow, shot, goal. Pops the Gatorade bottle off the goal for Trip Russell as Ingtow picks up another goal. The leading scorer for this Coastal team gets a pass right out in front and slots it upper 90, top right. Popped the Gatorade bottle out of Trip Russell's net. That'll be a power play goal for Ingtow. And all of a sudden, it's 4-2 Coastal Carolina, 10:44 to play. Cam Mecca skated off to the bench. Absolutely livid. South Carolina gifted that 2 seed by the ACHA. They expected to lose it after the loss to Auburn. And a loss here to Coastal Carolina, unless another miracle happens, I don't think they could hang on to it. Here comes Mike Bolger now, trying to get his team back involved. And now there's going to be a delayed penalty as Chad Lazine takes over, tries to take a weird angle shot. And just like that, South Carolina will take back over on the power play. 10:24. So 20 seconds after the goal, the Chanticleers commit a penalty, and off to the box skates Ryan Barley. He pleads his case. So 2 minutes with the added man for South Carolina. It's Julian Reis, it's Ryan McGowan, it's Tyler Oakley, it's Chad Lazine, and it is Mike Bolger. Reis wins the faceoff. It's Oakley at the top. Point, Oakley, shot. This one deflected. No one knows where the puck is. Now it's out in front, scramble. Reis gets it in the corner. Reis up to Bolger. Bolger can't play it. Oakley cuts it off before Coastal had an odd man break. Oakley blows a tire, working that into the offensive zone. Reis now steps in. Reis trying to find a shot. He can't get it in. Lazine works his way in that corner, trying to find somebody. Behind the net is Oakley. Oakley. McGowan, quick shot. That one off the pads. Off the pads of LeBrecq and sent all the way down. 1:18 remain on the power play for the Gamecocks. Here comes Bolger. Works it all the way through the neutral zone into the offensive zone. Loses it and cleared. Trip Russell plays the puck behind his net for McGowan. Line change for the Gamecocks as they reset. Drops it off to Owen Thomas. Owen Thomas works it into the offensive zone. Drops that puck off for Julian Reis, who sends it into the corner, avoids a hit. And it'll be Kyle Yaffe who clears it. Now all the way down the ice, Justin Folks beats it out, shorthanded. McGowan trying to get that puck back. 30 seconds remaining. It's Mecca behind his own net. Working it through the offensive zone. Drops it for Thomas. Thomas flips it in. Now cleared again, and a chance for Justin Folks for Coastal, shorthanded. Nick Peters rather, good hip check to push Folk off the puck. 10 seconds on the power play. Peters avoids a hit, takes it, it's into the corner. It's Mecca, now back for Hawkinson. Hawkinson all the way down to Peters at the blue line. Out of the box. Shot from Hawkinson into the glove of LeBrecq, and that ends the power play opportunity for the Gamecocks. It will go shorthanded. 8:18 remaining in the third period. 4-2. Coastal Carolina is on top in this one. And who would have thought? 7-10 was their record on their website. A team that didn't get an invite to the ACC tournament, lost to several SEC teams. And after how hot South Carolina has been, this has certainly been a cooling off game. Rob Lawrence tries to win the puck in the offensive zone, but he will not. It will be taken by number 14, Matt Corning, and he will send it up the ice and all the way down. Trip Russell wanted an icing, and no call, so Hickman will take it behind his net. Drops it off for Pruden, and Pruden resets. 7:50 remaining in this third. Hickman taking it out of the defensive zone, up to Hawkinson in the neutral zone. Hawkinson enters in cleanly. Backhand, chance, deflected out in front. The Chanticleers have done an incredible job of blocking passes and shots to make sure they don't get on the goalie. And South Carolina just does not look energized right now. Line change for South Carolina, dumped in by Coastal Carolina. Hickman will take over. Sends it over to Colin Burke. 7 minutes to go in this one. All the way up to Rob Lawrence. Rob Lawrence enters the zone. Drops it to Julian Reis. Bad pass taken by Coastal Carolina. 3-on-2 developing. Dropped back. Big hit by Evan Hoey to try and clear the puck. Ingtao takes it back. Quick shot up high. Won't go. And Hoey trying to regain possession. Moving away from a hit is Vanderveen, and Reis suddenly takes possession. And look at that. In the back, Evan Hoey draws a penalty. And then on the other end, a chance offensively That was still trying to figure out what's going on. Evan Hoey laid a hit to take possession away from the Chanticleers. And number 7, Vanderveen, was not happy with that hit and lays a big check on Evan Hoey, who went down a little easily for the big guy that Evan Hoey is. But his team will take it. 2-minute power play for South Carolina, where on the other end they had a chance on net, but nothing came of it. Looks like Coach Searwa is going to call a timeout, draw something up for this power play as his Gamecocks trail by a score of 4-2, 6:41 to go in this one. For the Gamecocks, the 2 goals have come off the stick of Owen Thomas and Julian Reis. Julian Reis currently ties the school record for goals in a season. He's 1 away from holding that record on his own. On the other side for Coastal Carolina, goals from Cameron Tucker, from Brendan Ingtow, from Justin Folks, and from JT Compton. And the impressive part about that is most of those guys are sophomores or freshmen. A very young Coastal squad. And they have come through for their team tonight. A completely different team than these Gamecocks saw at the start of the season, where they won 8-5 and 9-3. And now with 6:41 to go, it's an uphill battle for South Carolina, who have a lot riding on this game. After this, next week, the last 2 games of the regular season will be against Clemson. Friday here at the Plex. Dylan and I will be here for that. And then Saturday will be at Clemson. And then if you have nothing to do on Sunday, Dylan and I will be calling the Gamecock softball game on SEC Network Plus. Love for you to tune in to that. But as of right now, we still have some hockey. Trip Russell is going to skate off to the bench. And so they are going to go 6-on-4 here with 6:41 to go. Bold move by Coach Searwa, pulling the goalie with 6:41 to go. Down 2, Owen Thomas. Back to the point, Nick Peters. Peters fans on it, but keeps the puck in the zone. It's Bolger who sends it across to Thomas. Thomas out in front to Reis. Reis, quick shot, he scores! And there it is, folks. Julian Reis. Quick wrist shot, one-timer. And that's the one that sets the school record. How about that? Bold move by Coach Searwa, pulling Trip Russell with 6 minutes to go, down 2 goals, and he's rewarded. Julian Reis comes up big time with a one-timer goal. His 23rd of the year. We got a 4-3 game, 6:22 to go, back to even strength. And South Carolina still breathing. Bolger working his way in right off the face-off, but turned over. Coastal Carolina takes over. Swatted away by Reis, but chipped back in by Coastal. McGowan sends it to Oakley. Oakley off the boards to McGowan. McGowan on the right wing, sends it, but intercepted by Ingtow. Ingtow turns it right back over to Bolger. Bolger working up the ice now. Swinging down that right wing, quick shot on net, but saved. Reis swinging around, wheeling around the back of the net, dealing a hit. In comes Oakley. Oakley cannot keep that puck in the offensive zone. 5:40 to go now as Lazine takes it in his own zone. McGowan chips it up. And still fighting in the neutral zone, Lazine finally takes it. He sends this one up and in, and Mecca chasing it down, trying to beat the goalie who's out to play it. Finally, it's Kevin Brady who takes it. He is dealt to the ground by Cam Mecca. Kept on the blue line. Owen Thomas, quick shot out in front. That one deflected before it gets to the goal. And kept in by Pruden, not for long. Coastal takes over. It's Kevin Brady. He'll dump this one in. 5 minutes remaining in this third period. South Carolina trails by 1. Sends a long stretch pass off the boards, but it was in the middle of a line change. It won't be deflected, and it will be an icing. 4:56 remaining, and it'll be an offensive zone face-off for the Chanticleers. Peters to take this one up against Gerstner. Peters will win it. Pruden will take it and drop it off for Duncan Hickman. Hickman up the ice to Thomas, misses Thomas, and sends it all the way down for another icing. 4:47. Still a 1-goal deficit for South Carolina. Coastal Carolina played a great offensive game so far. Goals from some young players on their squad. Peters and Ferreira in the face-off circle. Peters wins it. Chipped by Pruden out, and it clears the zone. Delayed offsides, Peters takes it. And he sends this one down, misses Thomas. It'll say it was deflected, no icing. This one's sent out in front, but nobody home to put it in. Peters trying to turn and shoot. Owen Thomas now has possession in the left circle, working in, backhand, saved. Now working behind the net, drops it off to Mecca. Mecca trying to find some space. Off the boards to Hickman. Hickman back to Mecca. Mecca at that left circle all the way across, intercepted. Here comes Coastal. Working down the ice is Gerstner. He works in on that left side, can't get a pass in. Now drops it off out in front of the net, but nobody home for Coastal Carolina. Up the ice comes Owen Thomas. He'll dump this one in, onside. Behind the net. Out in front to Peters. Peters couldn't get it on his stick cleanly. This one out to Thomas. Thomas shot. Saved before it reached the goalie, I believe. Brick wall of defenders for the Chanticleers out in front as this one's sent down. No icing. Evan Hoey, 3:40 remaining in this one. Sends it all the way down to Duncan Hickman. Duncan Hickman chips it in. And it is cleared back out. South Carolina will get an icing. 3:27 to play. South Carolina offensive zone face-off. And a couple of chances there, but couldn't get a clean shot off on Lebrecht. Right now it is Burke and Hoey at defense. It's Rob Lawrence, Corey Hawkinson, and Ian Powderly, the forwards. Hawkinson tries to win the faceoff, chips it into the corner for Rob Lawrence. Now it's Hawkinson in that same corner. One by Coastal Carolina, but one back by Ian Powderly. This one sent all the way around. Can Hoey keep it in? He cannot. It skips over his stick, and Coastal trying to make a play on the puck. Hoey doesn't let it happen, but loses the puck in behind the net. This one off the glass to Powderly. Powderly tries to chip it. Icing waved off. In comes Rob Lawrence. Rob Lawrence bodies a man up against the boards behind the net. Hawkinson trying to win that puck. Big scramble out behind the net, 2:50 remaining. That puck is just sitting there. Now 2 players go down to the ground. It's Rob Lawrence, and he is on the ice as South Carolina wins the puck, then gives it away. Taken now by Compton, who enters the offensive zone. Quick shot by Compton, and it's into the glove of Trip Russell. 2:30 remaining. The Coastal bench wanted an interference penalty on Rob Lawrence, who was lying on the ice right next to Luke Kruppa. But I think it was a mutual thing as they were both on the ice. No penalty. 2:30 remaining. Still 5-on-5. Reis, Bolger, Lazine, Rob Lawrence, all on the ice right now for the Gamecocks, as well as Tyler Oakley, as currently Ingtow talking to the officials and to his coach. I think he wants an explanation for why that wasn't interference behind the net. I guess the explanation went well, as we're in for a face-off. This one chipped, and McGowan takes over behind the net. Off the high glass, tipped right there by Tucker. This one taken by Tucker, who sends it across all the way down to Ryan Barley. Barley chips this one down. McGowan trying to beat the Coastal Carolina man in his zone. Bolger now from the defensive zone sends it up, tries to get it over to Lazine, won't go. McGowan poke checks this one up into the air, and Oakley takes over in his own D zone. Working down the left side now, trying to hold possession, can't do it, and it's back out to McGowan. And now it's Bolger who works it in the offensive zone. Toe drags, can't do anything. 1:40 remaining in this one. Working down the ice is Compton, who beats Oakley to the puck, but Trip Russell was there to clear it. Up now is Lazine. Lazine dumps this one down. Reis chasing, lays a check in that corner, blows a tire down on the ground, trying to clear that puck to a teammate, and he will not. Coastal takes over. Mecca on the back check, trying to keep that puck out. Instead, Coastal shot on goal, saved by Trip Russell. Whistle blown. I think they're going to say that the goal came off. It did not. That goal is cemented. But instead, it will be an offensive zone faceoff. 1:16 remaining. You got to wonder how much longer Trip Russell's in that net. Timeout now. As both teams will go to their benches. 1:16 left. In a defensive zone draw for the Gamecocks. So if they win this faceoff and get it into the offensive zone, expect to see Russell skate off to the bench for that extra skater. I'm sure that's what Coach Michael DeCarl is telling his team to prepare for if they lose that face-off. So right now, what's at stake for South Carolina? The ACHA 2 seed. That seed is determined by strength of schedule, margin of victory, wins and losses, and a bunch of other things. And they compile them together and churn out a number. The number for USF, which is the number 1 seed, is 11.692. South Carolina currently sits at 11.437, and the University of Tampa is close behind at 11.393. So a loss will certainly hurt that number for the Gamecocks, and then it's out of their hands. If Tampa wins a couple more games, they would take that 2 seed theoretically. 1:13 now. Coastal has the puck. Working behind the net is 16 Ferreira. Peters trying to win it. Oakley now still battling up against the boards. Ferreira wins it and chips it back down. Kevin Brady has it. He dumps it. 55 seconds remaining. Intercepted. Gerstner. Mecca gets it right back. He works it up. Tries to get it into the zone. Mecca is offside. It will be a delayed offside, and now the whistle has been blown. Mecca not happy. He thought he entered the puck into the zone with the puck, but he had lost possession before he got in, and the puck followed him in. So 43 seconds. Trip Russell looking over at the bench, way out of his crease, waiting for this face-off right outside the blue line of the Gamecocks offensive zone. Peters and Foltz to take this face-off. 43 seconds remaining. South Carolina wins it. McGowan to Reis. Reis enters the offensive zone. Onside. Off goes Russell. They now have the added man on the ice. Battle in the corner. Fight for it. Up to Peters. Back down to Thomas. Thomas, quick shot out in front, deflected, and it goes high. 20 seconds now. Peters, quick shot. This one rocketed way over everybody and in, way over the glass into the net. 18 seconds on the clock. Offensive zone face-off opportunity. And last chance for South Carolina. A free trip to Dallas currently on the line. It's still not impossible to keep that bid, automatic bid. But if they do lose that 2 seed, they will drop however far to the 3 seed or whatnot. They will have to go through regionals, which are March 7th and 8th in Wesley Chapel, Florida. And regionals are a tough one. They lost in regionals last year. Cam Mecca with possession off the faceoff. Throws this one in front, can't find anybody. 10 seconds and counting now. Sends this one out in front. It's a slot. It's in the net. It's in the net. Julian Reis finds a way. That puck was sent out in front. Beer cans are being thrown onto the ice. It was a scramble. Lebrecht didn't know where the puck was, and Julian Reis found it before anyone else. 7 seconds remain on the clock right now. Fans are going crazy. And Julian Reis the all-time South Carolina leader in goals in a season, adds to the total and manages to put that puck in the net. It was a scramble out in front. Puck was in the crease. LeBret couldn't find it. There were about 3 bodies right out there, and Reis just had an eye and found a way. It is 4-4, 7 seconds remaining. And whether or not we will have overtime, that is to be determined later. Still 7 seconds left in this one as Luke Kruppa is pleading his case to an official. I don't know what he's arguing. Now the officials are talking to each other. And Kruppa getting in there, leading the conversation. I don't know if anyone knows what's going on other than those 2 officials and Luke Kruppa. And the officials now going to talk to Coach Alan Serwell. They're going to look at his stick. They're going to look at Julian Reis's stick and say it was taped illegally. No, actually, one of the sticks that's on the Gamecock bench belongs to a Chanticleer. So that's what Luke Kruppa was mad about. Well, regardless, puck dropped, 5 seconds, slammed into the boards. That puck rolled around the back, and icing, 1 second remaining. After the icing, which was blatantly not an icing, as Justin Folks was the only one that bothered to chase it down. So instead of the offensive zone faceoff, they're going to put it at center ice to please the Chanticleers after that missed call. 1 second on the clock. Julian Reis ties the game with 7 seconds remaining. And we'll see what happens here. Puck drop, chipped up, and there's the horn. Julian Reis comes through. Second goal of the game for him. And what a goal. So now we will go to overtime, I do believe, as these teams talk to each other on the bench. All of a sudden, South Carolina has come alive. The fans are out, and they are quite excited. It is Valentine's Day. We had the teddy bear toss for the first time. Pretty good turnout. A lot of teddy bears on the ice after that first goal, scored by Owen Thomas on the 5-on-3. But the resiliency of this South Carolina team fighting all the way back. They were down 3-0 after the first period. Got it back to 3-2, then on a power play, the Chanticleers made it 4-2. Coach Searwall pulls his goalie with 6:41 on a power play, and they convert on the 6-on-4. Then pulling his goalie again with less than 10 seconds remaining. Pays off. So when Trip Russell's not in net, they have 2 goals. And when he is, they have 2 goals. Playing the averages. Right now, bench is talking it over. Coastal Carolina, as I've said a couple times tonight, played South Carolina. Coastal Carolina was at home and lost both of those games at the start of the season. This has been a completely different team and an exciting game, as we will have 4-on-4 overtime as the skaters skate out. It's Cam Mecca, it's Tyler Oakley, it's Owen Thomas, and it is Ryan McGowan on the other end for the Chanticleers. It's a pretty lethal lineup, or at least tonight. Justin Folks, Brendan Ingtow, Luke Kruppa, and the man with the puck right now, Ryan Barley, who sends it in. Ingtow chases after it, but Oakley takes possession. Oakley behind the net. Send it to McGowan. McGowan back to Oakley. Oakley behind the net. Turns it over to Ingtow. Ingtow all the way up the ice, and it'll exit the zone as Oakley pushes this one out. McGowan trying to chase this down. Instead, it'll be Coastal Carolina. Ingtow shot out in front and shut down by Trip Russell. Big save and cleared all the way down the ice. LeBret clears it. Can't get it out. Here comes Mecca. Mecca walking to the backhand. Forehand, can't get it in on net. McGowan fakes the shot. Strange angle behind the net. Wraparound chance. It's in. Cam Mecca's won it in overtime. Wraparound behind the goal. Oh my goodness. A minute into overtime, the entire bench has skated out onto the ice, and they are mobbing Cam Mecca out by the right circle. I don't believe it. What a game for this Gamecock squad. Fighting all the way back. 3-0 in the first period. Scored 2 in the second period. Fight back after a power play goal from the Chanticleers made it 4-2. Huge game for this Gamecocks squad. ACHA 2 seed still alive. 2 more games remaining. You're not going to want to miss them. It's here Friday night against the Clemson Tigers. That's going to be a good one. Then Saturday, it's at Clemson. We'll have coverage of that for you too. What a game. What an exciting game. And who else but the captain, Cam Mecca, to put his mark on it. Quick recap. Julian Reis sets the school record. After a slow start for the Gamecocks, they fight all the way back and get it in net behind LeBrecq, who had played a phenomenal game for the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. Folks, I'm out of breath. That was a thriller and a monumental win for this Gamecocks team. 5-4 final, overtime, celebration, handshakes. We will see you next week back here on Friday. Happy Valentine's Day, folks. For Vince, our producer, I'm Zach McKinstry. And good night, Carolina. Forever to thee.